following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Live from Mellow Mushroom in the Cornerstone District in Lynchburg, Virginia, the Liberty Flames football show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty head football coach Jamey Chadwell comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty football show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show is also brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. The North American Mission Board, learn to live your life on mission through a GenSend experience. And by Sentry Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at sentryexteriors.com. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Snap to Bennett, drops back in the pocket, looking to throw. Dancing at the 10, throws near side. It's going to be caught on the near sideline. Fight him up. Touchdown, Liberty. The tight end, Austin Henderson.
Now, let's talk Liberty Flames football. Here's your host, the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
And a good Thursday night, everyone. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause here at Mellow Mushroom tonight for the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Our show each and every Thursday presented by Freedom First Credit Union. The Flames coming in off a win on Tuesday over Middle Tennessee State, 42-35. Flames remain undefeated at 7-0 overall, 5-0 in Conference USA. Coming up next Tuesday, or this Tuesday, however you want to look at it, 7:30 kickoff Eastern at Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers 4-3 overall, 2-1 in Conference USA after a 2017 loss at Jacksonville State. Mere minutes just after Liberty beat Middle Tennessee this past Tuesday. It'll be the fourth all-time meeting between Western Kentucky and Liberty. Liberty leads the series 3-0, including the last matchup in Bowling Green, 30-24 back in 2020. A lot of ways to join the show here tonight. We have a video web stream going on our Facebook.com page at LFSN Radio. You can send a question there. You can also send us a post on X at LFSN Radio. For you want to email, kind of old school now, but that is still digital. You can email us here at Mellow Mushroom LFSN at liberty.edu. Coming up at the bottom of the show, at the bottom of the hour, we'll let Coach Chadwell take a little break here. We'll hear the postgame comments from quarterback Caden Salter and Brylan Green, and also play some of the highlights from the radio from Tuesday's win over Middle Tennessee State. So all that to say now, let's welcome in the head coach of the Flames, Jamey Chadwell. Coach, good to have you on here tonight. How are things?
It's going well. It's good. It's good to be here and have another win under your belt. And it's a great night, great fans, crowd we got tonight. I'm excited to talk about the game and talk about this next one.
Well, let's do it right now.
Before I get to that,
yes, sir.
This is our day of giving.
It is
at Liberty.
Important. Yes,
very important. And from a football standpoint, we're 4 donors away from hitting a record. And if we hit that record, we've had somebody say they would put an additional money on top of that if we get to this certain point. So we're 4 donors away. So if you're out there listening, whatever amount you feel like you can give, if you're led to do that, we'd love to do that. We'd love to break that record and try to match what the donor said he would do.
And you can go to our social media channels. It's all over those, at Liberty Flames on X, at Liberty Football as well. More information on Giving Day. And you mentioned that. We've been doing that for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and it's amazing just the camaraderie, the warmth felt feeling around Liberty, and fans enjoy what we're doing here. But you got to keep up with everybody else, and it's always good to give back. So, again, Giving Day continues here today. And let's get out there and support Liberty University and Liberty Flames Athletics. A tight one on Tuesday, Coach. I got this quick stat here. given out by the conference. In the first season of midweek October games on national TV, 10 of the 13 games have been played in this window, have been decided by 2 scores or less. You've been involved with 2 of those, and 6 of those have been 1-score games, which is fans like to see great games, and you guys have provided them with some thrillers so far.
So I guess we've had two of those 1 scores or less, right? So, you know what, that's great for TV, obviously. And also I think what it shows you is you know, we've got good teams in our league, and then when you're within a conference, no matter what people's records are, they're going to play tight. They're going to play hard-fought games because you're playing for a conference title. No matter what happens outside the conference, you still have those opportunities for conference titles, bowl games. So you're getting everybody's best shot. And we talk to our team all the time. The more you win, the target's already big, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and you have to show up to compete every time. You know, and I think you're seeing that on these Tuesday night games, Thursday night games. It's a competitive league, and you have to be ready to rock and roll. And we almost learned that lesson a couple times here. You know, thankfully we've learned it in a win.
Right.
But it's I'm not surprised by that.
What have you learned from your team? Again, it's a broadcaster question, but you win a lot and you learn a lot. I mean, during all types of games, but tight games where you get out on top, regardless of how you win. Just so happens 2 of the last 3, well, 3 if you count Jacksonville State. You ended it with a knockaway there by Preston Hodge. But these tight games, what do you learn in just intense battles at the end that are decided by 1 player or less than that?
Well, I think one, how do your guys respond to pressure situations, right? And so. And if you look at like last Tuesday night, the last couple drives, they had the ball to go chance to score. And if they score, they're going for 2. I mean, it, right? And so there's a pressure there. How does the offense, if they get the ball back, can we get first downs? How do we kick in pressure situations? So we're learning that in these tight games. And you see, does your team have some resiliency to them, right? Do they have some mental makeup that they feel like, hey, we can make a play, right? And I think that's what's showing up. In these games that we've played well, maybe we've played some other times not so well, right? But when we've needed to make a play, somebody's been able to make it. And I hope what the main lesson I hope is we learn though is, hey, why are we not playing our best? Was that because we didn't practice that way? We didn't prepare that way? All these different. And so if we can learn those lessons, like I knew this week was going to be tough. We did not have probably the worst week of practice we've had since we started the season, in general, overall. And what I mean by that is coaches always want better, but like just our mental approach. We practice like we had arrived, and that hey, we're going to roll the ball out and win. And obviously that didn't happen. We had to fight tooth and nail. And so if we learn that hey, every week, then this will be a benefit.
Wednesday was off for everybody?
Wednesday's off day, yes.
How was today? What'd you do today?
So today is a Monday for us, and so Monday, it's about an hour practice because you're still 48, right under 48 hours away from your game. So you can't do tons of hitting or anything. So we do a lot of special teams and a lot of corrections and some things to introduce our new opponent. And so, but I thought our energy was really good. Our focus was really good, and what I mean by that, they were locked in on this day. And so the challenge can be, will we do that the same thing tomorrow and Wednesday when you get more physical, right? Tuesday is our physical practice, and so tomorrow to us is going to be the key. Do we come in with a great attitude and a great mindset to go out and improve and get better? And so, but today was a great start.
With these midweek games, Jamey, are you still working out in the morning, or do you kind of change that up a little bit?
No, we last week, because we got back at whatever time it was, 5 a.m.
Right.
And then we were on fall break. So what we did there is we let them, all right, we're going to let you have some of your fall breaks. So we're not going to do things in the morning. We're going to bring in the afternoon. It gave coaches more time to get ready game plan-wise and stuff. Obviously, that didn't work. And so so we let them have the mornings. I don't think they like that because they're routine-based. Right. So today we're in the morning. Tomorrow will be in the morning. Saturday we'll push it back a little bit. We won't go as early because there's no class. We'll bring them over and lift. and practice probably at 1-ish or somewhere around there. So, and then that way they still have a Saturday for like a college student. But we're back in the mornings. You go back and forth on that. You don't know the exact way to do it because it's new for everybody. But that's how we're doing it.
Your mantra, Jamey, is strike the stone. Was that game Tuesday a microcosm and an example of what strike the stone means?
Yeah. I mean, if you pick the first play of the game,
right.
All right, we're down.
Cade couldn't find his helmet or something.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah. I only say that because the TV was showing it. So,
yeah, he picked up the wrong helmet. First of all, why don't you not have your helmet? But that's another story. Anyway, but I mean, I think anytime you're not doing well, they're up. They got momentum. They're up. Or are they up 28-21 or whatever? What might have been? Maybe they was up 28, 35-28. I can't exactly remember. But the point of that is you can't worry about the outcome. You focus on what you need to do to get the outcome, right, and the preparation and just your mindset. We talk to our team all the time. Adversity is going to happen. If we embrace it, if we keep striking during that, then we can overcome and get the outcome that we all desire. And a game like that, a game like Sam Houston, and even a game like Jacksonville State where it's 10-10 at halftime and then you come out, that all encompasses that. And so that continues. If we continue that mindset, it's been shown up in games.
Nicholas Vattiato, pretty good quarterback, and he, where you guys stretch the field from a completion yardage standpoint, yards per completion, they are a great passing team, but they go little dinks and dunks, as I would call it, and they methodically get you down the field. Did anything they do Tuesday, was that typical of what they typically have done the first few games? Yeah,
I mean, they've been able to hit some big shots, but what people do to us and what they're doing a lot of it's a catch and throw, right? Let's get the ball in our hands quick. Let's don't get people let them penetrate, all those things, and let's let our receivers make some plays. And they had some really good players, Now, there's a couple plays there where we didn't play the type of way we're capable of, and it gave up big plays there. And I think obviously we came out with the interception, and then they score right away. I think defensively we did not show up and compete the way we're capable of in that first half. And that led to some of it. But, they had a good plan. Hey, we're going to get it out. We're going to get it out quick. We're going to make you tackle us in space and run you around a little bit. And each week, we're getting, you're seeing so many different style of offenses each week or style of defenses, but what it shows our guys is, hey, we have to be ready to go. We can't take anything for granted, and we have to get our energy ready to rock and roll right away. But that quarterback's a good player.
Typically, you defense 4 down linemen. Notice the little 3-man lineup as well. How much have y'all done that, and was that because of what they were doing maybe behind the linebackers?
That was part of it, yes. Yeah. They were doing a lot of different things and taking advantage of some of the stuff that we were trying to do, and so then we went to more of a 3-down line. We had almost 6 DBs out there if you looked at it, two linebackers basically and 6 DBs, from a standpoint of we had a couple safeties, 4 safeties really, and 2 corners or 3 corners and 3, whatever it might have been. We moved Preston Hodge to corner, and so that had to be I think we call it a dollar package, like a dime, dollar, same thing. and so that had to be something we needed to do because of what they were trying to do to us. And we really the intercept or the turnover of Brandon, that was a big turning point. They were driving to score again. We got it, scored after that, and that sort of gave us some momentum to try to be able to stop theirs, and gave us a lead that we're able to, hold on to.
You mentioned Preston Hodge, Jamey. Man, for a guy that typically plays your star, you moved into the corner. At what point in the last month or couple of weeks did y'all notice his versatility to be able – and, again, that position you can pretty much is a hybrid position.
Yeah.
So what did you see in number 24, Preston Hodge, that makes you think, okay, let's put him out on the island sometimes because he can handle it?
Well, that star position is a big basically a corner, a physical corner. So they have the skill set to do that.
Okay.
And so we've practiced him some at corner. You can see his skills and the things that he does, in practice. So he's got cover skills. He can do certain things. With our injuries we've had, the last couple of – Eli Hopkins went down, was out 4 or 5 weeks. Marquise Bell's been banged up. Mo Williams, and so we've had to practice. We've had to do some of that stuff because of putting him over there and letting him practice it just in case. And it wasn't injury-based the other night. We weren't performing at corner. We were getting beat, and like, hey, we got to make a change. So we put him out there. He was fantastic, player of the game for us. And then and we have depth at safety. So you see Q Reese out there. You see Brylan all at the same time. But Preston's a talented young man and has the skill set to do what he did, and thank goodness he could.
We're joined by head coach Jamey Chadwell of the Liberty football team. Our show presented by Freedom First Credit Union. We're at Mellow Mushroom here tonight, having a good time. Good crowd on hand. Good pizza and wings, all that good stuff being served out here, and got the games on the TVs as well. So if you're out and about and Lynchburg here, stop by Mellow Mushroom. We'd love to have you. We'll take a time out here as we recap Liberty's win over Middle Tennessee State. We'll talk more about that game, and still to come a little bit later, we'll hear some post-game reaction from quarterback Caden Salter and defensive back Brylan Green. Stay tuned. We'll have more of our Liberty football show. Head coach Jamey Chadwell after this 2-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Ben Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Everybody says they want to do it, but how many people ever really change the world? GenSend shows students just like you how to live life on mission. GenSend offers real-life ministry opportunities in cities all across North America. Work alongside believers who are really changing the world. Spend your school break on mission and learn how to be a champion for Christ. Go to gensend.org to learn more.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames football show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels in the Liberty Flames.
Earthlight Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthlight Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames football show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Thursday night, and it's Mellow Mushroom time here for the Liberty Football Show with the head coach Jamey Chadwell. Our show presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Hey, folks, don't forget, Giving Day continues through the evening. If you haven't found out more information, go to our Liberty social media channels, the Liberty University social media channels to find out more and how you contribute to Giving Day 2023. Liberty 7-0 overall, one of 11 teams undefeated in FBS football. The other G5 teams, Air Force and JMU. So two teams in the state of Virginia still undefeated. JMU, by the way, tonight puts their undefeated record on the line at Marshall. And Liberty back in action next Tuesday at Western Kentucky at 7:30. All right, for those in the building here tonight, we're going to talk about Rick Weaver. You might be saying, who's Rick Weaver? Well, Jamey Chadwell is going to tell us all about Rick Weaver and the impact he had as a lead blocker in the first half on a Tuesday. Rick, a great wrestler, tips the scale, at least on the official roster, at 330. But it was fun to see Rick get in there and do some damage offensively.
Yeah, it was. He's a D lineman, nose guard is what he's been playing for us, and based off of how Middle Tennessee aligned there on the goal line, we thought, well, hey, we got a play that we'd like to run, but when you do that, you're ISO on a backer who's coming downhill, and we don't have like the biggest backs, right? So you're like, all right, who could that be? Could it be a tight end? And then we're like, well, I mean, and Rick's so hard to block during practice. He's so low to the ground, and he's so strong. I mean, he's just physically, he's just so strong. And so, we all cooked up the idea there, and he said he'd join us from a tryout, and when I think I got here in the spring, he joined us.
Right.
And then during fall camp, we moved him to O-line because we had, to bring in the fall camp, we didn't have enough O-linemen, and he did O-line for us. And then he moved back to D-line, during the season, but we gave him the opportunity, and he went in there, and if you watch that play at all, I mean, that guy went downhill. And he hit Rick, and it was like hitting a brick wall, and Rick knocked it, and we walked right in, you know. And so happy for him. Obviously, it's hard to play college football. It's harder to walk on, and it's even harder just to get, one opportunity. And he got one. He might not get another one rest of the time, but he got one, and obviously a huge play. And if you saw, our sideline, they were pumped, because they know what he's about, know what he does every day and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
For Rick, again, I never would ask you what's the play call or what is he listening for on the sideline. So he's paying attention to, okay, this might be me.
Yeah, so we call it personnel grouping.
Okay.
So, a personnel grouping, we got a bunch of different calls on, but like it could be Viper, that's a personnel call, and it could be Rhino. And so, but we would say Rhino Rick. So everybody, hey, Rhino Rick, you're in, right? Okay. And then you have your play call. And we only gave him one because I don't know if he barely remembered that one. You only give him one.
Okay.
But this is what it was, and he had one row and he motions and he goes there. But what I did, I screwed up in our walkthrough on Monday,
okay.
Tuesday, day of the game. We ran another play with him just to say, hey, we could do this too. You know, well, he thought we were going to run that one. And then so if you notice the play, Caden motions him. He don't come in motion. He thought we were running the other one, and Caden's like, Rick. And so then he remembered what play we were running.
Okay.
And he went in there and did it. So you call the personnel, and then we knew, hey, when we call this is where you align. So we went through it because it's one play, not 3 or 4.
Sure.
And said, this is what you're going to have to do. And it went the way we drew it up.
Jamey, I want to get your take on some of the other aspects of the game. You ran for a season-high 401. Caden Salter, career high.
Ran for about 500.
Caden had 160. Quentin had 134, his 4th straight 100-yard game. Of that 401, that's the 5th highest single-game rushing total since 429 was rushed against Presbyterian back in 2012. For those old-school Liberty fans in here, Aldrakis Allen had 183 yards during that game. You had 401. You mentioned you should have run for 500. You're always trying to improve. What was left on the cutting room floor that maybe you didn't take care of from a rushing standpoint?
Well, I mean, I think we had opportunities there that we turned it over twice.
True. Yeah.
So if you think about, we turned over the first play of the game,
and then Quentin.
And then Quentin, we were at the 35 or 40, and that's a big play. He misses a cut. I mean, if you run it 30, 40 more yards, on each of those, you're at 460, whatever. Yeah. And so I felt like we did leave some out there, and we had some, some call back because of penalties, this or that. So we were able to rush the ball the way we wanted to, but I thought there could be more. My disappointment was we missed some throws. We had a couple plays there to make. We missed some signals that were passes, and some guys were running run plays, and it was supposed to be a pass. So we had some things where we really could have put 50-something, maybe even 60 points on the board, and and we needed it, right? It was one of those games. It was a high-scoring game, and we needed some of that. And so as a coach, you look at that, you go, oh, man, you scored 42, you did all these things. But we look at, that's good, but, man, there was so much more we left out there. And are you leaving it out there because you're not executing, because it's a lack of, not focused? And those are things that we're trying to fix and correct. And so, but yes, can you improve? Yeah, you can always improve. We had a holding penalty on one. We fumbled. There's so much things that we could do. But if we'd have hit some of our not turn it over, hit some of those, some of our big passes and some of those things, misread a couple things, especially there late where we felt like we could have ended the game, and we had to wait and let the defense end it. Those are the things you go, all right, we got to get better.
How about this particular point in the game? Early fourth quarter, you had a third down, and Caden rushed for – it was 3rd and 14, I think it was. It was a 10-yard game. It was going to set up a 4th and 4. They have a costly personal foul penalty. The next play, you know what happened. C.J. Daniels, touchdown. Pivotal point in that game. What did you take through that as you got the ball back and automatic first down?
Well, you're always trying to figure out, especially when we were running the ball the way we were, like, all right, where's our shot? And then if you miss it, are we good enough to get it on 2nd and 3rd down, right? Like, that's the key. And so once they got the penalty there and they got a late hit or personal foul afterwards, whatever it was, all right, hey, we're 1st and 10, we're in a good field position. They're running downhill. Let's do what we feel like we're good at. We did play action. We had a couple guys running, and obviously he made a nice throw to CJ and big play, right? And that gave us a lead. We were able to hold on to it in the fourth quarter. So there's times where you just call a bunch of it because you're feeling like everything's working, or we feel like there's other times where maybe we're not as sharp as we need to be, and you got to be, all right, really be choosy when you pick it, right? And that was one of those times like, hey, Coach Corn called it. He goes, what do you think? I said, hey, let's go. And he called a nice one, and obviously that was a big play.
You rushed for 401, Jamey. Bentley Henshaw had a touchdown. He was wide open. That play was set up with a really good play-action fake. Was that a result of how well you're rushing it, that they suck in on that fake, or did – outside of running a good route, anything else helping to help Bentley get that wide open?
Well, that's what you hope, because you're running it, you've run it out of that formation, you've showed those plays, and they're telling you got to get down there and help on the tackle, and then you want to have something that complements that, right? And that was part of it. We've been in that formation 2 or 3 times and had some success off of it, and that was they had one guy over there, and he had to either choose Bentley or Austin. He chose Austin, and then Bentley was obviously open deep. If he'd have chose Bentley, Austin was going to be open and had a big play too. So it was one of those that really worked out the way they were lining up, and that's what you do. You want your pass game, your play action to complement the run plays that you have, and that was a big one at that time frame.
Once again, Coach, no points allowed in the fourth quarter. You hold them to under, I think it was 45 yards in the fourth quarter. You're still number one with only 6 points given up in the Flames quarter, pardon me. But you finished how you wanted to. Defensively in that fourth quarter, got a couple of picks. What else did you see from that group that allowed you to stay in that game and ultimately give you the chance to win?
Well, we played with so much better urgency. Like I think in the first, second, and part of the third, we were more just playing catch. They were doing all these things, and we just weren't playing with the urgency and the intensity that we normally play with. And as I said, I think after we got that fumble from Brylan there, we got the recovery. We scored. We took the lead. I think our guys really started. All right, we got to clamp down. And they were putting some. I mean, we had that 13-yard punt. We were putting some bad situations.
Right.
And they, all right, let's go. The attitude was let's find them. And we got stops. We got things. We got turnovers. Whatever it was, we got big plays done. And it shows you what type of defense we can play. We have to show up with hunger every week. We have to always assume that they're better than us, and we have to play with a chip on our shoulder if we're going to win games. And that's period. In any game, no matter who we play. And sometimes young people want to touch that stove. They want to say, "Oh, is it really hot?" Right. They don't want to listen.
Yes, sir.
And we about got burned, right? And so you're hoping they learn it, and that's a big deal.
You continue to lead the country now with 15 interceptions. You had 3 takeaways on Tuesday. Now that's 18 gained. And we'll talk about Western Kentucky coming up in a minute. We put out a video of some of our radio calls and some of the cinematic footage of the game. And there was an end zone view from right behind the goalpost of Bryland's interception. and Tyron tipped it, and then their guy tipped it, and the way he corralled it, he bobbled it a couple of times while diving. He's made some spectacular plays, but that one might be my favorite so far he's made.
Yeah, I mean, nothing surprises you, right?
Right.
I mean, anytime he's out there, and so we have its on offense, defense, and it's we talk about tips and overthrows. I think something that they did last year, and we kept it tips and overthrows, and they say you got to get those.
Yeah.
That was a mantra they've had, and we've kept that. And every time that ball gets tipped or something, there's people going after it, and they're upset if they don't get it. And so it's exciting every time the ball is tipped. They're disappointed that they don't get it, and that's a great mentality to have.
How much is that Joker mask worn out? Chad might need to get a new one.
I think he has to. I think we're going to have to retire that one and put it, because 15 times, nobody would have dreamed of that so far. But hey, whatever, it might smell, it might whatever, but we'll take it right
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks for being here. We'll get some more thoughts for you coming up in a little bit. We'll give you a break right now. And coming up next on the show, we're going to hear some of the post-game comments from quarterback Caden Salter. He rushed for a career-high 160 yards. And Brian Green, that game-saving interception that helped Liberty get the ball back with a minute left. And then nothing sweeter than victory formation for the offense, able to kneel on it and preserve the win. 42-35. We'll take another time out of our weekly Liberty football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. We are back to Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg after this 2-minute timeout from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank and Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need, so there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Clearly, this summer is like so many in the past, really hot. Freedom Heating and Air wants to make sure your home is the cool and relaxing retreat it can be. Freedom Heating and Air offers same-day service appointments in and around Lynchburg, Rustburg, Amherst, and Smith Mountain Lake. And they'll work on your cooling issues even if you've never used them before. Is your air conditioning system aging? Is your cooling system just not getting the job done? See what the dedicated, experienced team at Freedom Heating and Air can do for you. Call them at 434-331-3690.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
And a good Thursday night once again. Welcome back to Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg for the Liberty Football Show. The head coach, Jamey Chadwell, will be rejoined by Coach coming up as we wrap things up here in about 15 minutes or so. Liberty 7-0 overall, 5-0 in Conference USA, all alone in first place. Back in action at Western Kentucky this coming Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. And that game will be on ESPNU, and you can check out our radio broadcast on our statewide Journey Network, also the new Liberty Flames mobile app the Varsity Network app as well. We'll have our pregame show starting at 6 o'clock. Don't forget Giving Day continuing here on the mountain, and a lot of success so far with Giving Day. You can find more information on Giving Day at givingday.liberty.edu. Time now to hear some of the radio calls from Tuesday's win over Middle Tennessee State. Also some post-game comments from Caden Salter, Liberty quarterback, rushing for a career-high 160 yards. And Brylan Green, who had a game-saving interception with about 1:06 left in the fourth quarter. Liberty was leading 42-35. They would go on to win over Middle Tennessee State. To Salter, hands off Cooley, up the middle, pushes the pile to the end zone, and he is in. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. 5-yard touchdown run for Quentin Cooley. His fourth of the year, and the Flames a PAT away from a tie. Caden gets the snap, turns left, hands off to Cooley up the middle, and he's straining to the end zone, and what do we have? Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Is big old Rick Weaver, 5'11", 330. He's wing right, goes in motion. First and goal. Snap to Salter. Hands off up the middle, and an end. Touchdown, Liberty. Light him up. Billy Lucas.
Right behind Weaver on that.
Back to the right is Lucas. Snap to Salter. Play action, rolls right. Henshaw wide open. End zone to our left. Stumbles to the pylon. He is in. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Play action rollout by Salter. Nobody picked up Bentley Henshaw. The senior tight end from Moore Park, California. His fourth touchdown grab of the year. And stumbled right inside the far right pylon.
Yeah, the secondary from MTSU completely lost sight of Henshaw. Great catch and grab. Just tuck the ball inside that first pylon.
First down and goal from the 10. Flames down 35-28. Snap to Salter. Handoff up the middle. Quentin Cooley spins his way down the right hash mark. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Strong run there by Quentin Cooley. His third rushing touchdown of the night. Snap to Vadiato, throws over the middle. Wide open is Willis on the right sideline. Fumble the ball at the 41. There's red jerseys around on the near sideline. Give us the signal, please. The fumble by Willis, and it is going to be Liberty football. Kobe Singleton comes out of the pile with the pigskin. 46 left in the game. Play action, Salter on first down. Will rifle it, end zone to the north side, right side, crossing pattern. Light him up, touchdown, Liberty. C.J. Daniels with the catch on top of the Y of the Liberty type, and the Flames surge in front, 41-35. And second down and 9 at the 22. Snap to Vadiato. Fade. End zone is going to be picked off in the end zone. Yes, sir. Preston Hodge with the pick.
Oh, when they needed it most, once again, head on a swivel. Preston just looked back, and the ball landed right on his numbers.
The first of his career. Middle Tennessee 0 for 1 on fourth down. This is 4th and 9 from the 36. Liberty leads 42-35, 1:09 left. Snap back to Vadiato. Fourth down throw, middle, tipped and intercepted at the 34-yard line. Brylan Green tips and overthrows. Gotta get those. And Brylan Green is going to seal it for the Flames with 1:04 left.
Wow, just laying out. Once again, bingo, bingo's the call, right? When that ball goes up and Brylan lays out and makes a huge pick.
Caden, on a night where, the throws weren't coming easy, and then you take that shot play right there after the penalty and you hit CJ in the end zone to take the lead. Take me back through what you saw there on that play and how you were able to step up and make a play.
Yeah, Coach just told us the safety was playing him basically trying to assuming that we was going to run an out route. So CJ just ran a great route. Where he was able to make a cut route, run the post route and beat him. O-line had a great protection for me, and I was able to hit him down the field.
Did it feel like one of those games where you were just going to have to outlast the other team the way it was going?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, apparently, clearly both sides, both of our offenses was very explosive today, gave our defense some good work today, so hopefully that'll help us for the long run. And on our side of the ball, we just went out there and we executed as best as we could do. We had a lot of penalties that stopped us from doing things. We had some turnovers that we got to quit making them happen, and we'll be way more explosive.
And 160 yards rushing. I'm guessing you didn't have that on your bingo card for your game tonight, did you?
No, sir, I did not.
What were they giving you out there?
I mean, clearly they was giving me the quarterback run. I guess I was just able to scramble and get up the field.
Does it actually feel like that you rushed for 164 yards?
No, sir, don't. Actually, I didn't even know until I just went in the locker room and somebody said, you rushed for, well, actually, Cooley came up to me and said, bro, you ran for 160 yards. I was like, oh, crap, I didn't know that.
So it's the second straight home game for you guys, decided by one game. Is it something to, just having that confidence, that belief that you guys are going to get the job done now 7-0?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, we play for each other, and we all believe in each other. So once we go out there and if we playing together, I feel like nobody can stop us. No matter how tight the game is, Flames going to always find a way to get an end on top.
Two questions. One is, what did you see on that initial interception early in the game?
Yeah, it was just I ran out there with no excuses, but I ran out there with the wrong helmet. I ran back on the sideline and got my helmet. Then by the time I ran out there, we had like 5 seconds on the clock. I wasn't able to get my motion man all the way to his exact spot, so it kind of messed up some of the splits and stuff. I assumed that the corner was finna follow with the post that we had, so I floated it up instead of ripping it because I thought he was gonna follow, but he came off and he made a good play on the ball.
What have you learned over your years about, after something like that, how to reset and get refocused?
Oh, yeah, most day. I mean, that was the first play of the game, so if I would have let that stick to me for the rest of the game, it ain't no telling what would have happened. So, I mean, I just flushed it, and next drive we came out there and executed.
Coach talked about the concerted effort to score in the red zone. You guys cashed in on all your chances tonight. What can you say about being on the other side of that and seeing your hard work pay off in that regard?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we just been working on it all week at practice. Coach been telling us that we got to finish drives because there's been a lot of drives that we haven't finished this year due to us just hurting ourselves. So today we went out there, and when we got into the red zone and strike mode, we went out there and executed and finished the drive.
So you guys are 7-0 now. Got a big game, Western Kentucky, coming up next Tuesday. What's our initial thoughts on that game?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Western Kentucky, they're a very good team. We just got to go out there and execute. We got to play with each other. I feel like it'll be another very good game, a road game that we'll just have to go out there. We're going to have to line up and play ball. I mean, I feel like we got the tougher players. We got the better players. So we go out there and execute. We won't be stopped.
Coach mentioned that the practice wasn't the best this week. The penalties are a concern. What can you do as a leader to help this team correct some of those things and do it through still winning ball games?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, I just got to keep bringing the juice. Just keep making sure everybody heads up at practice. No low energy is with us, with the schedule, practicing on Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays and stuff like that. Everybody come out. Just looking like they don't want to be there. So I just got to make sure that everybody's coming out there fully energized, fully prepared, fully ready for the day of that practice and make sure that we get better each and every day.
Brylan, again, another game that the defense ends with a pick. You're on the right end of it here this time. I mean, are you guys just expecting those plays to come to you now? It's happened so many times, especially in the fourth quarter this year.
Yeah, I think it's just the trust that we all have in each other to, do our jobs and stuff like that. We was in man coverage on that pick, and the guy ran into my low hole player, and the low hole did his job. We got the deflection, and, I was just lucky to be right there, and, got the ball. So, just the trust. I think that's what it is.
Gave up 45 yards and no points in the fourth quarter tonight. That was a stark contrast from how this game started. How did you guys respond from a tough start?
Just being confident in what we could do, flush the first half, man. We know what we could do. We kind of came out like days-ago in the first half, and it showed. So, just bearing down and just showing resilience, in the second half, and, come out with a dub at the end of the day.
What does this team need to do? It's good to get a win, obviously. You guys are 7-0, but to, put together a full 4 games, especially on defense, and, have that same mentality that you have in the fourth quarter to start the game.
Staying on the details. I think that's the biggest thing with our team is just every day, day by day, just take it details. I think that's what we really need to harp on, and it's something that we're going to get better at. So.
How much harder does it get to focus on details when you're in midweek games, middle of the season, and kind of on a quirky routine?
Yeah, man, it's a wild schedule that we got going on, especially with classes going on too. It's not like we're in NFL where it's just straight football. So I think it's also the outside things that we have to worry about. But like I said before, man, we just got to hone in, man. And if we just collectively do what we got to do as a group, we'll come out on top.
How tough was Vadiato tonight? I mean, that ball was coming out quick. Was he as good as you guys saw on film this week?
Yeah, man. Everything we saw on film is exactly what he was going to do out here. So, he's a great quarterback, man. Everything he did, man, it was great. It was great.
Riley, you think about those end-of-the-game situations that you guys have been so successful in this year. Guys like Kobe, you had Preston out there tonight too. Mm-hmm. And can you think of specific examples, or did it happen maybe tonight too, where you guys you're having conversations with them, or you guys are having, this is our time, this is our moment, this is what we're made for in this?
Yeah, I think, in between plays, I think that's when we really have the chance to talk and get to, get with each other and see what's going on. And I just tell them when I'm out there, man, I love y'all. I go out there and play for y'all. And as I do that, after I say what I got to say, I trust in you, God. You don't want to play on the field. And I think that's why, we get what we get. Just, trusting in each other, trusting in God, and we get the results.
Coach Chadwell stepped into that huddle and really challenged you guys after, I think, the second series of the ball game, tackling specifically. What did you guys take from that, and how were you able to improve as the game went on?
Yeah, he got into us, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the worst he probably got into us this whole year. But we needed that though. I think we got 2 lackadaisical, and I think that started, from the beginning of the week. We got 2 lackadaisical, and we needed a spark. And I think he sparked us, and then you saw what happened in the second half.
When you guys were struggling early like you did today, you're only a sophomore, but what kind of voice and leadership role do you feel like you have in picking your guys back up?
I wouldn't say it's a voice. I would say they trust me. Even though I'm a sophomore, I have that trust, and they could just leave me and do what I do, and they don't have to worry about what's going on my end. And I think that also goes for the other players on the team too. We all just trusting each other. I think that's the biggest thing. If I had to give a word for our defense this year, I think it would be trust. We all know we're gonna do our 111, and once we do our 111, it's hard to stop us.
You're a little thin at corner right now. Preston Hodge steps up out there tonight, gets an interception, I think a PBU as well. Just tell me about what you saw out of him tonight.
That's Preston. We knew from whenever he first got here last year what he was going to do, man. And at the end of the day, his next man up mentality, we was down at corner, and, he looked pretty, comfortable at corner if anybody was watching the game. So, next man up mentality, and we got the job done.
Talk about just the confidence, knowing that you guys didn't play your best game, but you're still coming out with the win. You're 7-0. You're having the success, and you know that there are probably things you can work on.
Yeah, I think that just starts in practice. The coaches put us in, uncomfortable situations in practice, and it shows in the games, and it shows how much confidence we have in each other to just, keep rolling regardless of how the game's going.
And that is a post-game reaction from quarterback Caden Salter and Brylan Green, Liberty defensive back. Flames beating Middle Tennessee State on Tuesday, 42-35. We'll take another time out of our weekly Liberty football show. The head coach, Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Coming up next, we'll get a thought or two on the Hilltoppers. That's the next game for your Liberty Flames. Our weekly show brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union continues after this 2-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Everybody says they want to do it, but how many people ever really change the world? GenSend shows students just like you how to live life on mission. GenSend offers real-life ministry opportunities in cities all across North America. Work alongside believers who are really changing the world. Spend your school break on mission and learn how to be a champion for Christ. Go to gensend.org to learn more.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels in the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. If you have a question or comment for one of our guests, email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Wrapping things up here on this Thursday night at Mellow Mushroom, our weekly football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. We've been talking about Giving Day, and you can log on to our website at givingday.liberty.edu. And a couple hours ago, a brand new X post came out, and Liberty Athletics has hit a new Giving Day record so far, $750,000 raised. So congratulations to the those that participated in Giving Day, and $750,000 raised so far. You still have time for Giving Day, and log on to, again, the website at givingday.liberty.edu. And Coach Chadwell rejoins the show here. And, Coach, next up, Tuesday, Western Kentucky. A couple of things just noticing about them defensively. Both teams do a really good job taking the ball away. So what's your initial take on the Hilltoppers here 5 or 6 days out before the game?
Well, you're out on defense. 18 turnovers. They have 9 fumble recoveries. And so when they tackle, they go after the ball.
Okay.
Obviously, that's been an Achilles heel for us here, as well, putting that ball on the ground. So we've got to first and foremost take care of that. They've got, obviously, they do a really good job defensively, keeping people in front of them, not giving up big plays. They make you earn it. And then offensively, they got explosive players. They obviously coming off a big loss. As you know, it's hard to play at Jack State. Right. There's a lot going against you down there. And so they, got upset there. But if you look at who they've played and the losses to who they've played, and then people they beat, they're going to score points. We're going to have to do a good job. We're going to their place. It's tough to – they have a great record there over the last – since their head coach has been there. So we know it's a tough challenge. And what we've shared with our team, it's not necessarily us playing them. It's like it's us playing against ourselves in our head, meaning like can we go out and prepare like what a championship team should prepare like, and we know if we don't play well, they're explosive like Middle was. That gave us some issues. Right. So we're gonna have to do really well. But they're good, and we're gonna have to play well to get a victory.
Austin Reed's their quarterback. He leads the league in passing per game, 274 yards. Malachi Corley is third in the league, 43 receptions. Easton Messer, 24 catches. What's their offense look like behind Austin Reed?
Well, what one, he gets the ball out quick and he's accurate, and then Corley is a fantastic player. And he's a guy you have to try to double team. And if you how people are done, they're double teaming because he is so explosive. But those other guys can beat you, and they get you in some one-on-ones. You miss a tackle and they can take it the distance. And so the Reed young man Austin is just the way he gets rid of the ball and the accuracy is amazing. You can look like you got him covered by a glove and he just lays it in there. And so we're impressed by him. We're going to have to do some things to disguise because he's been in the system now 2 years and he knows what he's doing. We're going to have to disguise. We're going to have to give as many different looks as we can. The key to it, the whole key for us defensively is we got to be able to get pressure, and we didn't get great pressure last time, and the guy was able to do some things. We got to be able to get pressure.
How about offensively, a key or two here early on here?
Obviously taking care of the ball,
Yeah.
and I think secondly we're going to have to they lead, I don't know if they lead or not, but they have tons of tackles for loss.
Right.
They get you in some long yardage situations, and when you get in long yardage, they do a lot of different things. And so I think first down, controlling the line of scrimmage is going to be a big key for us, and meaning we need to be in second and mediums or second and shorts and not second and longs, and because we need to be able to control the line of scrimmage and hopefully control the ball. That limits the opportunities they have for offense. That's going to be the key.
Final thought here, Coach, as we wrap things up with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Liberty 7-0 on the year, 5-0 in Conference USA play. Liberty takes on Western Kentucky coming up on Tuesday on the road at 7:30. Former Georgia Bulldog David Pollock was on campus today, and he will speak at Convocation tomorrow. He spoke to our athletics department and had a great message and a Q&A, went about an hour. I understand he spoke to your team. What was his message to your team today, and how did they embrace David Pollock?
Yeah, one, it was awesome. We're appreciative of being able to have the opportunity to have somebody like him on our campus, speaking at Convo, and then have the chance to come. He loves ball, right? Yeah. And what he challenged our guys today on, he talked to us about 15 minutes or so, and then he had a Q&A and really got into his background and his testimony, which was awesome. But he talked about not taking the opportunities you have for granted and making the most of them. And it's not about having the talent and all those things. It's about what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want. That was his big deal. He went through his story, what I had to give up, to get where I wanted to go. And it's the same thing. What are you willing to give up to make sure you can accomplish the dreams you have? And if it gets hard, then that means you just got to go harder after them. So it was a great message.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time here today. That's going to wrap up our show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Have a good continued preparation this week, and stay healthy, and look forward to next Tuesday.
Flames.
Flames. Crowd response real quick. 1, 2, 3. Go, Coach.
Flames.
All right. That's head coach Jamey Chadwell here tonight at Mellow Mushroom, spending a few minutes with us as we talk Liberty football. Liberty 7-0, 5-0 in Conference USA. Back on the road next Tuesday at Western Kentucky. Hope you can make plans to join us either on TV, maybe in person in Bowling Green, or on the radio. We'll be there with the team providing the play-by-play. That's going to wrap things up on our show here tonight from Mellow Mushroom for head coach Jamey Chadwell and our video stream producer, Jamie Hall. My name is Alan York. Have a great rest of your week, and go Flames.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. The North American Mission Board, learn to live your life on mission through a GenSend experience. And by Sentry Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at sentryexteriors.com. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.